Hey friends, Daniel here with the Leadpages tech team bringing you today's tech tip. Want to have opt-in information that's collected be automatically sent to MailChimp's system? During this tech tip, let's dive into the integration that we have with MailChimp. As we do so, there are a few fine print details that I want to make sure to go over first. Number one, you'll need manager level permissions or higher in MailChimp to connect your account. 2. To use MailChimp throughout your Leadpages account, you'll need to integrate in 2 different places, which we'll go over during this video. 3. Lists in MailChimp are called audiences. Now that we've gone over those details, let's dive into the fun. So first we'll want to establish the connection between Leadpages and MailChimp, a one-time step that's done under the integration section in a Leadpages account. So in our Leadpages account here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on integrations from the left-hand menu. We're going to locate MailChimp and click on it. From this point, we're going to say connect account, and we're going to be asked to input our MailChimp API key. Now we do have some information on where to find this in MailChimp system, but let's head to our MailChimp account to find it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up our MailChimp account here. I'm going to click on my account profile in the bottom left-hand corner and select account. From here, what I'm going to do is from the extras menu, click on that and select API keys. Now I do have an API key already generated, but of course, if you don't have one, make sure to generate an API key to use. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this API key, and I'm going to head back into Leadpages and paste that in. From here, I'm going to give it an account name, and this can be anything. This is just for your housekeeping purposes because you can connect more than one MailChimp account within Leadpages. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one Tech Tips, and I'm going to click Connect. Once that connection establishes between Leadpages and MailChimp, we're going to see that it shows as connected. Awesome, and just like this, we'll see our account name, which is Tech Tips. Connected is the status when it was connected. We do have the ability to turn double opt-in on or off under this integration section in our account. And also too, we have the ability under the actions menu to rename, so change our account name, edit. So if we, for example, change the API key, we can edit and input that new API key. And we can also hide from list. And you'll see that I have quite a few accounts already hidden from the list. This just means that they won't show when I'm in the form widget for selection. I can always say show here, and I can always make a integration unhidden by just clicking this unhide from list option. Now that we've gone over the connection between Leadpages and MailChimp, establishing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually head back into MailChimp system. In MailChimp system, what I want to do is go to my audience. Now, if I don't already have an audience created, I do want to make sure to create an audience. But what I really want to focus my attention on is the form in MailChimp system that's connected to my audience, because I'm going to create some custom form fields to use on my form in Leadpages. So I'm going to use my Tech Tips audience here, and I'm going to go to Manage Audience, Sign Up Forms. Under Sign Up Forms here, I'm going to go to Form Builder and select to access that form builder. Now, as I scroll down here, we'll see my form. And on the right-hand side of our screen, we'll have the ability to add a field. Now, in my particular case, what I'm focusing on is selling a home. So I'm going to add in some form fields that are focused on that. My first one I'm going to do is I'm going to do a drop-down field. And for this drop-down field, I'm going to say, how close are you to selling? And from this point, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit to my menu options, and I'm going to say considering, and then ready. And I'm going to remove that third choice by using that minus sign. Now from this point, I'm going to go ahead and save my field onto my form. I'm also in this particular case going to say add a field, and I'm going to add a text field. What I'm going to put that field label as is, what do you think your house is worth currently? And then they can let me know in that text field, and I'll go ahead and save my field. Now that I have the form fields I want created, I'm going to head back into Leadpages, and I'm going to go to the landing pages section. I have a page created here that I'm going to be working with. And in my page, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to jump into the form widget. So I have a button here that says get started that's connected to a pop-up. So I'll say edit pop-up, and I have my form here on the pop-up. So I'm going to go ahead and say edit integrations. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus my attention to integrations, more specifically choose where you want your form data to go. In this portion here, I'm going to say add an integration. I'm going to select my MailChimp account, And then I always like to just refresh using this option right here, making sure any changes that I've made in MailChimp system, like say for example, those form fields I created, pull through for selection. So once that loads up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my destination, which is going to be my audience in MailChimp's platform. So I'll go ahead and click on the drop down here. And from this point, I'm looking for tech tips. Once I've selected that, my next step is I have the ability to add up to 10 tags to my leads. Now, just a quick note about this, you won't see any preloaded list of tags to select from when you click into this field here. To apply an existing MailChimp tag that you created in MailChimp's platform, type the tag name into the field we offer. So say for example here, my tech tips, and I would go ahead and add that in. Now, once I have what I want set, I'm going to go ahead and just save. Now, I do want to note if at a later point I decide that I don't want to apply that tag any longer, I can just click on my MailChimp integration here and click on the X next to my tag and then just make sure to save. Now, once I have the MailChimp account selected here, I do have the ability to remove the lead notifications integration, which is going to be selected by default in the form widget. We do need to have at least one native integration selected here. And in my particular case, I don't want to receive an email every time somebody opts in. My inbox is going to fill up really fast. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that lead notifications integration now, just having my MailChimp account. From this point, I'm going to go into fields. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and add in those fields that I've created in MailChimp's platform. So I'm going to say add a field. And I want to select my first field. So how close are you to selling? And I'm going to go ahead and click done. And then I'm going to add my field, and what do you think your house is worth currently? So I'll go ahead and add that in. Now, I can move the order of these form fields here by just using these directional arrows. So maybe I want to ask them first what they think their home is worth. So I'll move that up, and then second question will be how close you are selling. Now, from this point, I'm going to go ahead and save my form, and I'm actually going to publish my page. I'm going to submit a test opt-in so we can make sure that that information submitted goes into MailChimp's platform. So once my page publishes here, I'm going to go ahead and just visit it as a viewer would. I'm going to click on my Get Started button, and I'm going to go ahead and input my email address. And I'm going to go ahead and say test for tech tips. And what do I think my house is currently worth? Let's say it's that. And I'm just considering. Now from this point, I'm going to go ahead and say sign up. And after this, I'm going to head back into MailChimp's system. So I'm going to jump into MailChimp again. I'm going to go to my audience dashboard, or I could even do all contacts here. If I go to my audience dashboard, I'm just going to say view contacts from this menu here. Now, when I do so, I'm going to see that my test opt-in appeared. And if I go ahead and click on it, I can review the information that was submitted. So my email address, how close am I to selling, and then what do I think my house is worth. I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me for this tech tip. And don't forget, if you have any questions, our knowledge base and support team are just a click away within your Leadpages account.